7 mistakes fail SHRM-CP candidates more than anything else, and most candidates make at least 3 of them. How many are you making right now? Let's find out. Here's how this works. I'm going to walk through 7 mistakes, and after each one, you ask yourself yes or no. We'll keep a running tracker in the corner, and at the end, you tell me your number. No judgment. The candidates who pass aren't the smartest, they just make fewer of these. Let's go. Mistake 1. You're studying too much. This sounds wrong, but it isn't. SHRM published the data on this. Candidates who studied between 81 and 120 hours had the highest pass rates, and after 200 hours of study, performance actually got worse. Burnout shows up as second guessing, over-rotating on edge cases, and decision fatigue on test day. So here's your check. Did you study more than 25 hours last week? Be honest. If yes, you're in the danger zone. Mistake 2. You're drilling random questions. Random questions feel productive, but they aren't. The candidates who pass identify their 2 or 3 weakest domains, and they drill those specifically. The rest is just reps that don't move the score. Here's your check. Can you name your 2 weakest domains right now without checking? Just name them. If you can't, you're guessing where to study. Inside our adaptive Q bank, the weak spot detector flags exactly which domains and competencies need work and serves you questions tagged to those. That's mistake 2. Mistake 3. You're answering situational judgment items the way you'd answer them at work. This is the biggest one. Watch. Read this scenario. An employee at Riverside Logistics raises a fairness concern about a recent promotion decision, and the team lead asks you how to handle it. What's your move? Your options. Option A. Tell the employee promotions are confidential and close the conversation. Option B. Forward the complaint to HR generalist intake without follow-up. Option C. Pull the employee into a private one-on-one and explain the rationale informally. Option D. Document the concern, review the decision against criteria, and respond with a written summary, including next steps. Pick one. No peeking. Here's the truth. A is obviously wrong. B sounds reasonable but doesn't hold up. C is what most HR people would actually do at work. And D is what SHRM scores as best. C and D are usually different. The exam rewards the documented, evidence-based, BASK-aligned response, and your day job rewards the warm conversation. They're not the same. That gap between C and D is exactly what our SJI Strategy Masterclass exists to close. 8 modules, all of them on how SHRM scores judgment, not how you'd handle it at work. So here's your check. When you took your last practice, SJI, did you pick what you'd do at work or what SHRM scores best? That's mistake 3. Mistake 4. You think you can spot the field test items. 24 of the 134 questions on your exam don't count toward your score. SHRM uses them to evaluate questions for future exams, and they look identical to scored questions. You cannot tell which is which while you're sitting there. Some candidates think they can spot them, and then they relax on the ones they think don't count, and those turn out to be the real ones, the trap. So here's your check. Have you been mentally flagging questions as field test items during your practice? If yes, stop. That's mistake 4. Mistake 5. You're saving everything for the last week. The cognitive science here is settled. Spaced repetition beats cramming every time. 40 hours over 4 weeks beats 40 hours in 3 days, because your brain forgets faster than you study. If you learned a concept 3 weeks ago and haven't reviewed it since, you've already lost most of it. Our pass. Path study plans build spaced repetition in by default. The 12-week and the 8-week. Review chips appear at week 1, week 3, and week 6 for every concept. So you're not just learning, you're keeping. So here's your check. Are you reviewing what you learned 3 weeks ago or just what you learned this week? That's mistake 5. Mistake 6, you're studying the BASK like a textbook. The BASK isn't a textbook. It's a blueprint for what gets tested. Reading it cover to cover memorizes the wrong thing. You need to know how each competency shows up in question form. Here's your check. Have you read a single BASK proficiency indicator out loud and rephrased it as a scenario? If no, you've been reading, not studying. That's mistake 6. Mistake 7, you haven't sat for a full 134 question timed mock. The exam runs 3 hours and 40 minutes. Most candidates have never sat that long doing HR scenarios, and your accuracy at minute 30 isn't your accuracy at minute 200. Stamina is the silent failure mode. Our exam mirror runs 3 full mocks at real exam pace and structure. 134 questions, 2 time sections. So your first real exam isn't actually your first. Here's your final check. Have you done a full 134 question mock in one sitting? Not 3 hours over 2 days. One sitting. That's mistake 7. So how many were yours? Don't worry about the number. The candidates who pass aren't smarter, they make fewer of these. That's the whole secret. Drop your number in the comments. We read every one. If this video helped, here's something for you. Use code SHRM-CP10 at PrepSolution.com/SHRM-CP. 10% off, valid through June 30th, 2026. Adaptive Q Bank, Exam Mirror, SJI Strategy Masterclass, Pass Path. Every question, every module, written by certified HR professionals who passed. Exam prep written by the professionals who passed. A link in the description. Good luck on test day.